Hi, I'm Lisa Chell, and thank you for joining me in my chapter, Take the Leap of Faith. Years ago, when I was just 23 and newly married, my husband Joel and I left the city for a weekend away from the hubbub and headed for the mountains outside of Jasper National Park in Canada for a few days. It was almost a 4-hour drive from the city, and we had friends who we hadn't seen in a while who were building a house out there. And it was a great opportunity to visit them and have a getaway. I will always remember the drive down the country road toward their new home. The river was on one side of us, vast expanses of forest and foothills to the other, and in front of us, the mountains, getting closer and closer and closer. It was majestic. I kept thinking, if we drive any closer, we're going to run into this mountain. When I thought we couldn't go any further, we came around a bend. And there was this quaint and picturesque hamlet. One street of houses and 2 streets just covered with trees and forest. A soccer field, a little playground, a small community hall, and all of God's wonder. Wow, I was in love. Every cell in my body was screaming at me, this is it, this is the place. The streets of trees were actually lots being sold by the government, and I found out that many of them were already spoken for except for a few. So in my mind, the decision had already been made. I knew with absolute certainty that I was here right now for a reason, and that reason was that this was going to be our home, the place we would eventually raise our family. So after a couple days, my husband and I were heading back to the city, and we talked about it all the way home. We made the decision to take the next day off and put in our application for one of the lots, which meant we'd have to immediately move or the government wouldn't let us have one. It seemed absolutely crazy at the time. I was in my first job right out of college. We were just establishing our life. We lived close to most of our family. Life was promising, and this was completely unknown. Not 1 ounce of certainty came with this decision, yet it felt so right. My mom did everything in her power to convince us not to go, because we lived close to my parents and they liked having their baby nearby. She said, you have a secure job, you have family here. If you move, I can't be there to babysit your children when they come. All convincing, yet this decision felt so right. So, with no certainty of our future other than this strong intuition, we picked up and moved almost overnight. And somehow, the jobs did come along. The foundation for our life did appear. New friends, new family, community. It wasn't always easy. We hand chopped and cleared those trees from our land. My husband hand chiseled all the timbers that he pieced together to make our timber frame house. And it took us 6 years to build this house and move in. During that time, imagine, we were both working and we had 4 babies in 5 years. Life was full and tiring and fun and challenging. And I was thankful. Thankful for my beautiful mountains. Thankful for the opportunity for my children to grow up where they did. Thankful I listened to my intuition because of all the wonderful experiences we've had in our home. Thankful that in spite of the doubts and fears from our family and friends, we then became a spot for my parents and my husband's parents and all our family to gather together and enjoy the beauty of where we lived. And here's the message I'm passionate about to share with you about taking a leap of faith. It wasn't the big life-changing decision to move. It wasn't the uncertainty and all that went with it. That was the leap of faith. It wasn't that at all. The leap of faith was listening to my intuition when others were telling me I was crazy. The leap of faith was trusting myself and my truth when logic was pointing otherwise. The leap of faith was allowing myself to be the answer instead of looking to others for the answer. I call this intuitive intelligence. I think of all the times in my life where my intuition was speaking strongly. It was saying, do it, or be it, or dream it, or live it. And I answered it with, yeah, but I can't do that. Yeah, but I can't afford that. Yeah, but it's easy for them. I don't have the experience. I don't have the knowledge, or maybe it's I don't have the degree. Yeah, but working here, I'm safe. I have a pension plan and 5 weeks of vacation. Yeah, but what would my friends and family think? Yeah, but the kids still need me. Sound familiar? Yeah, but blocks your intuitive intelligence. Yeah, but blocks the answers that are inside of you. They block the answers from coming forward. Underneath all those yeah, buts is your intuition, your spirit, your internal wisdom calling to you. Listening to your wisdom, listening to your intuition, and trusting that you already have the answers inside of you, that's the leap of faith. That's the place where miracles happen. You've picked up this book because you're looking for something more. Perhaps more purpose, more passion, more inspiration. Perhaps your inner voice is telling you to make a move, follow a dream, reconnect with a loved one, heal a relationship, start a business, or walk away from something toxic in your life. Whatever it is, find some place where you can silence your mind and be at peace. Invite your intuition to come forward and guide you. Then take the leap of faith and listen. Remember, for every question in your life, you are the answer.